Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to explore Magic Kingdom and have a blast taking photos. My plan for today is to first head over to Tomorrowland and then visit Liberty Square, and then finally we'll walk down Main Street. On my way in, I was just in time for the Festival of Fantasy parade, so might as well grab a few pics. An interesting challenge of parades is that we have a brief window for our shots, and a lot depends on whether the characters are interacting with us, or even facing our direction. So I was a little disappointed that none of the Rapunzel or Tangled characters were really interacting with me, but Peter Pan is so charismatic, so I'm sure there's a good one in there. The Maleficent steampunk dragon is honestly quite majestic. There's a lot of good shots to be had. And of course, Mickey and Minnie, always adorable. We'll see if we get a few shots. So Tomorrowland's always interesting. I wouldn't call it a futuristic themed part of the park, but it's more like a retro, neo-futuristic theme. At any rate, there's a lot of good formations, a lot of interesting and innovative shots with the architecture, sleek angles, and dynamic structures. We should get a few interesting photos from this area. Now we're moving on to the Peoplemover portion, and for one it moves and it's bumpy. So in order to get a crisp photo, you're going to want to open up your f-stop probably as wide as it can be, and you're going to want a fast shutter speed, and you might even need to bump up the ISO a little bit. But if you can get the exposure right, compensating for all of the movement and the bumps, then there are a few good shots that you can get from the Peoplemover. And what's interesting is that it's a different vantage point than from the rest of the park.
Greetings, intergalactic travelers. Welcome aboard the Peoplemover, presented by Enterprise. I'm Ep.3, your guide aboard this highway in the sky. The absolute best way to see tomorrow. And my stars, there are ever lots to see. Spacecraft to monster labs. There's really nothing like today in Tomorrowland.
For your safety, if you have wings.
The next station is Tomorrowland Urban Planning and Star Traders. Transfer to green and red lines.
Don't worry, your express train keeps on rolling through the future. Right by two of my favorite spots.
Now approaching Tomorrowland Speedway and Tron Light Cycle Run.
I love a good surf.
I'll admit that the Speedway is probably my least favorite thing about Magic Kingdom and all of Disney World, but it does make for some good shots, especially if you can get that vantage point from the Peoplemover. It's a pretty unique angle.
All visitors from Galaxy Ep.3. Please keep forward-facing tentacles clear of oncoming vehicles. Thank you.
I decided to try my hand at a little bit of tilt shift photography, making the people look like miniatures down there. It's not something that I'm used to, not something I've ever really done, but I'll give it a try.
Thanks for riding with us. It's been a pleasure to have you aboard. And even though we're concluded, this is always my favorite part.
Now I find that Main Street has the best reflections, but if you're creative and look in the right places, you can get a good reflection in pretty much anywhere in this park. Now that I'm on the ground again, I'm going to try and get just a couple more shots of those cars passing by.
One goes over there, and rope one will hook up to the fence, and rope two will be hooked up.
So I happen to be pulling up right as one of the castle shows is starting, just my fortune for the day, and I don't feel like I have the right lens to really capture this show right now. I'm shooting on a 30mm, which is a wide angle, which is great for shooting the castle. Not so great if I'm in the crowd and I'm trying to shoot somebody who's performing at the castle. I'd probably want a zoom lens for that. I think telephoto would be the good approach. But there might be a shot or two in here. We'll give it a try anyway. I mean, worst case scenario, I get to watch the show.
Greetings, friends from near and far. Welcome to the magical Friendship Fair.
We want to drink.
Next up is Liberty Square, the colonial American themed area. This area offers a completely different vibe. It has classic brick buildings and charming cobblestone streets. I like my 30mm lens here to capture the intricate details and textures of the structures and the areas. At this point it was getting a little bit later in the day and I needed to head back, so I'm not going to spend too much time here, but there are a lot of good photos I can take.
Please explore our gallery cases filled with historical artifacts from the life of our presidents. Our next presentation will begin at 2:45.
I don't know why exactly, but I always just like walking through this Christmas shop. It smells nice, it's air conditioned, it's a nice little break. Sometimes I find a little trinket here or there. Now, in general, I don't like taking pictures of just merchandise and putting it on this channel, but this shop has a lot of decorations and really it has a lot of charm, and honestly, who doesn't like a store dedicated to things about Christmas? So we're still making our way back to Main Street, and the Crystal Palace is, I think, a very photogenic place. I think it's got a lot of charm and personality. We'll try a few different angles here. Now we're at Casey's Corner, so let's take a breather and listen to some piano. One of my favorite things about both Magic Kingdom and Disneyland. Man, that was great. Finally, we've made it to Main Street, the heart of the park. This area is great. It's always bustling and it's always full of energy and color. I always like the vibrant storefronts and the lively street performers. The Main Street's iconic architecture is perfect for experimenting with different compositions. I like how there are so many street lamps and trees, buildings, and you can try different angles. It's a lot of fun. Here's a fun fact. Did you know that you can actually get your hair cut here on Main Street? There's a barber, a legit barber shop around the corner. I miss when Magic Kingdom had the Sorcerer's card game that you could interact with around the park, but the fire station is still pretty fun. We'll try and get some interesting angles for the train station, and then that's going to wrap up our day of photography at Magic Kingdom. I hope you enjoyed following along and hopefully picked up a few tips and tricks for your next visit. So anyway, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more photography adventures here at Disney, and I'll see you in the next video.